Okay, so let's consider the name of the perfume business plan to be, let's say, Bloom and Ember, and we have to start the business plan from the financial model. So here's the financial model and the doc file, which is the template, business plan template. I'm gonna work on this a bit later. I'm gonna start with this one. So let's say this is Bloom and Ember financial model, and this is a perfume manufacturing financial model. So let's write the name here as well, Bloom and Ember. And in here, we have to basically write the projected years. For example, this is 2024 to 2028. Now, if I think that this should be 2025 to 2029, then I should make changes like this. 7, 8, 9. So 2025 to 2029. So after that, across all the areas, the projected year and the name of the business is basically inserted. Now, the necessary stuff in here is already present. We have already pre-filled the necessary sections in here. For example, the machineries that are needed, the pricing of the machineries, and all of this required stuff. The financial model is prepared using GAAP standards and international financial standards. So it's going to save you a lot of time, and it has many features that I'm going to be discussing right now, which is very useful if you are planning to, especially if you are planning to start a new perfume manufacturing facility. So let's get started. Now, whenever you want to start a new business, you have to consider your investments. How much the investment amount should be, where you should be investing. So this CapEx investment assumptions tab explains all of these factors. For example, in the first year, we are assuming that we'll be taking $1.5 million as equity, or our own investment or investors funds, and $150,000 as loan. If you don't want to take any loan, just make it 0. If you want to decrease this amount, then you can just make changes necessarily. Also, please keep in mind that you can only make changes in the cream colored in the cream colored or pink colored cells. I mean, these colored cells, you can make only change, you can only make changes in these particular cells. Apart from that, so after I inserted 500,000, if you go down, you will realize that the working capital has become negative 615,000, has become negative, or it has turned into red. The reason is, according to this model, based on the assumptions, current assumptions, if you invest 500,000, then the business will become unsustainable. We are going to get into the reason of why it's going to become unsustainable and how to basically regulate these numbers appropriately. It's going to give you a very clear idea on how the model works and how this is a very realistic model. So the way this is designed is, we have a manufacturing facility. If you want to create a perfume factory, obviously you need to have a manufacturing facility, and all of these machineries and equipments are dependent on this manufacturing facility, apart from a few of the capex items. For example, like safety equipment, delivery trucks, office equipment, these are not dependent on the floor space of the manufacturing facility. So in real terms, what happens is, let's say you want to create a manufacturing facility, you will set up a 2,000 square feet factory. And in that 2,000 square feet factory has a capacity for number of equipments. If you want to increase the number of equipments, or if you want to increase the production capacity, then obviously you have to increase the floor space. So that's how this is designed. So each floor in here, according to these estimates, can accommodate 500 customers worth of production. And let's say in the first year we have 2, 4, 7, 9, 10. This is how we are increasing the production. And another very important thing is, we have to realize that whether the total capacity number of customers are aligned with the total number of customers that we are selling to. For example, in the first year we are selling to 654 customers. This number is basically coming from revenue assumptions, which I'm going to get into later. So we have an install capacity of 1,000. In the second year, it's 686. We have an install capacity of 2000. So the install capacity always has to be higher than the required capacity. That is also shown in the model. If it's not aligned, then it's also going to show. For example, in the fifth year, it's 397, but your install capacity is 5000, which is also bad. You have a lot of idle capacity. So using these numbers, you can basically play with the model and find out what should be your optimum investment activity, how you should allocate your resources, how you should target your revenue. So all of these factors will basically come into play in here. Now, even after putting 1.5 million, it's showing that the business is going to become unsustainable by year 2027. In order to understand this, we have to go to the income statement. So in the income statement, we can see that the first year it's incurring loss. So after incurring these much losses, these losses are basically getting accumulated over the years, which is basically having an impact on the cash flow of the business. So if we go to the cash flow of the business, where is the cash flow? Yeah, here's the cash flow of the business. So as you can see, after incurring so much losses, the business becomes unsustainable very soon. That's why you need more investment in the capex department. Now, why is the business incurring losses? We have to look into this right now. In order to get there, we have to basically go to revenue assumptions, and we have to look at the prices, and we have to look at the customer acquisition cost and these sort of factors. So as you can see, this is showing as red because it's unsustainable from 2027. That's why. So you have to look at the prices and the cost of the product. So let's go to income statement again. So we have a revenue of 523, we have a cost of goods of 264, and we have a operating expense of 564. So we have a very high operating expense. So we have to obviously fix this. For example, miscellaneous expense we have assumed to be 135,000, which is very high. So in order to fix that, we have to go to OPEX. Where is OPEX? Yeah, operating expenses. We have to go to operating expense. So we have to go to OPEX assumptions. So in OPEX assumptions, we have certain expenses as percentage of revenue, and we have certain expenses as just fixed expenses. So for example, rent, instead of 2%, let's make it 0.5%. Let's reduce the operating expenses altogether. Utilities, let's make it 1%. Then repairs and maintenance, let's make it 1%. I think repairs and maintenance 2% is okay. Research and development 2%. Travel expenses 0.5%. Others, we can make it 0.25%. Now miscellaneous expense it's too high. Let's make it 5,000. Then we have independent OPEX placeholder. So you can just put a OPEX that you think that should be here. If you don't think that it should be here, then just make it 0. Then we have office supplies and equipment. So let's also decrease this. 2000 is enough. Research and development, we have already placed certain funds on research and development at the top. So I'm going to make it this 0. Professional fees, it's too high. So let's make it 4,000. Insurance, let's make it 2,000. Now let's go back to the income statement and look at the situation. So as you can see, the profit the losses have decreased significantly. And during the first 2 years, till the second year, you will incur accumulated losses. But the business is going to get profitable probably from the third year. Now let's get back to the assumptions, the capex assumptions part, and let's look at the situation right now. So if I go down right now with the same amount of investment, as you can see, it has become sustainable. The working capital is positive. As a matter of fact, it's going to increase. It's going to firstly decrease till like the first uh, till the third year, and then it's gonna start increasing. We can tweak the numbers more and make it more realistic depending on your situation and everything. So the numbers are already fed. I'm gonna work on with these particular numbers in order to complete the business plan. This is just to show you how to write the business plan using these templates. So let's go through each of the tabs one by one quickly so that you understand how this model works. So this is the capex tab. Then we have the summary tab, which is a summary of the P&L, the cash flow statement, and the balance sheet. Then we have the revenue assumptions, which has the promotional budget and the revenue assumption. So why is the promotional budget connected with revenue? The reason is, let's say during the first year you are investing 60,000, around $60,000 into promotion. So where is this 60,000 coming from? This 60,000 is coming from the working capital. And where is the working capital coming from? Let's go back to the capex tab. If we look at the working capital in here, where is it coming from? You have invested 1.5 million during the first year, and after deducting all the investments on the fixed assets, so you are investing on manufacturing facilities, storage tanks, this, that. After deducting everything, you are left with $1.2 million of working capital. Now you might argue that I don't know need so much working capital, so you can increase the investment in here. You can make it probably 500,000. Let's see if it's sustainable or not. If you invest 500,000. No, if you invest 500,000, that's too low. Based on the assumptions in here, 700,000 isn't also gonna do anything. So let's make it 1.2 million. I think 1.2 million is fine. Now, you might argue that I only have a budget of 500,000 or 100,000 or 50,000. So can I not start the business? Yes, you might be able to start the business. Then you will have to cut back on the manufacturing facility and all of these fixed assets investments, and also you have to cut back on the revenue assumptions. If you want higher revenue, obviously you have to invest more on fixed assets or machineries in order to get higher revenue. So this all of this depends on your assumptions basically. So let's get back to the revenue assumptions part. So these 900, out of these 904,000, earlier it was 60,000, now it's 45 because we have reduced the investment amount. So out of that 904,000, you are investing like 5% of that into the promotion, so 45,000. So out of that 45,000, you are investing some of that in social media, influencer partnerships, email marketing, and so on and so forth. And each of these channels have a customer acquisition cost. Customer acquisition cost also has an impact on the profitability of your business. For example, if let's say you are investing a significant amount of your budget, let's say 14% on SEO, and your customer acquisition cost in here drops to like 55. As you can see, it's going to have a drastic impact on your number of sales and everything. For example, earlier it was when it was like 75 customer acquisition cost. If we visit the income statement, you'll realize that it was like a negative 113,000. Now let's change the situation. Now let's change the situation and let's make it a bit lower. Let's make the SEO like 45 or 55. Let's make it 45. So if I make it 45, and let's get back to income statement. Now, as you can see, the situation of the business has basically changed drastically. So this is how it basically works. 5 million. Also, if you have more funds, the business will behave differently. This is also shown in the model. So the way it works, the way the revenue assumptions work is you invest a certain amount on the business after deducting the capex and everything. After deducting the capex and everything, or the fixed asset amounts, fixed asset investments, you're left with the working capital, which is this one. So out of this working capital, you invest a certain amount on the promotional budget, and out of that budget, it's distributed across different marketing channels. So after distributing across different marketing channels, you acquire a certain number of customers. Let's say 809. Those customers are basically shopping with your business, but all of those customers will not stay with you for forever. And for some of the customers, you might acquire organically without any promotional budget or anything. For example, it might be your friends or family. So let's say you acquire 10 customers during 2025. Let's say these 10 are your friends or relatives. So in total, you acquire 819 customers. Out of these 819 customers, 2% per month will basically go away, or 24% of these customers will basically leave your business or move to someone else or not want the products under certain circumstances. That depends on them. So basically, out of these 819 customers, some of the customers will choose this product, some of the customers will choose this product, some of the customers will choose this product. So it totally depends on the customer's choice and your assumptions. If you think that 80% if you think that 80% customers will choose this product, then you can just mention 80% in here, and everything in the model is going to change. If you think that out of this 80%, 40% goes to this product, this sub-product gets 20%, and this sub-product gets 40%. So if you want to change the ratio in here, so let's make this 20%, or let's make this 60%, and let's make this 20%. Then it's also going to have an impact on the overall model. If you think that the price of this product should be like $75, then change the price. If you think that the price shop for this should be $45, then change the price. So as you have increased the price, if you go back to the income statement, we'll realize that this also increases the net profit and sales and everything. So everything you can regulate and basically find out what happens if I do this, what happens if I do that. So these are very important things to consider. Okay, then we have cost of goods sold assumptions. Each of these products, for example, if you are selling this product has a cost associated with in order to produce this product. It has a raw material cost, a packaging cost, and production labor cost. So we have each unit of this product has a raw material, packaging, and production cost. So you can regulate these numbers, you can make changes to these numbers, and it will have an impact on the income statement. Then we have OPEX and tax calculations. We have considered tax to be 25%. If you think this should be higher or lower, then you can change it. Some of the expenses are variable and some of the expenses are fixed. For example, insurance is fixed, and rent, we have considered this to be as a variable cost. Because as you increase your facility production, as you increase the size of the business, probably you will need you are going to need a larger production facility. So that's why we have considered rent to be a variable cost. Apart from that, once you place these numbers, then we have payables, receivables, and inventory assumptions, which is part of cash flow assumptions. What is payables? So you are buying raw materials from your suppliers, and you have to pay them within a certain time. Let's say they provide a 2-week period or a 1-month period. So that is the payables. So if they provide 1 month time to pay back, then your payables is 8%. So higher payables is better for you, because in payables, what happens is if you have higher payables, then you have more cash in hand. You can pay your suppliers later. Receivables is exactly the opposite. It's for customers. If your receivables is higher, then you will obviously have to deal with lower cash flow, because you will get paid later. Inventory is also same as receivables. If you invest a lot in inventory, then you have a lot of cash flow stuck in the inventory. Then we have salaries assumptions. In assumptions, just place the positions for the positions that you want to place in here. For this, you can take help from any AI tool, for example, Google Bird or Gemini. Let's open this up. If I just type in, give me the positions for my perfume manufacturing facility. Give me positions for my perfume manufacturing facility. So if I just type this up, it's going to give me a bunch of perfume manufacturing basically positions in here. So I can take some of them. For example, the first one could be operations manager. Then we could have flavorist. Then we could have quality control technicians. Then we could have production personnel. So like this, let's fill this up. At the top in executive board, in executive management, we can have the founder, then we can have the CFO, then we can have the head of operations, and we can have the CMO. Uh, what else do we have here? Inventory, control, bottling, and labeling specialists. Then we have inventory control specialist. And lastly, we have sales and marketing representative is basically part of sales. So I'm not going to take this. So I'm going to ask Bart, give me more operational positions. So distillation technician or machine operators, let's take distillation technicians. Or I can just put in like logistics manager. And after I put the stuff in here, then we have finance and accounting. So in case of finance and accounting, we can just put in finance manager. Bookkeeping personnel, and leave the rest empty. So in here, how this is designed is, let's say you are the founder, you are getting monthly salary of $2,000. We have one founder, so we just have one in here. And each year your salary will increase by 5% because we have to consider inflation. If you think that it should not be increased, then just make it 0% and it's going to adjust accordingly. For all of the other positions as well, this is the formula we are following. So during the first couple of years, probably you won't have a CFO. You want to handle everything on your own. So just keep it 0 and make it like this. From the first day one, you probably need an operations manager. You need a CMO probably from the third year when you are able to increase the business size. So this is how it works. Then we have these positions. So after adding all these positions, the expenses should increase, and it should also have an impact on the income statement. So let's look at the income statement. As you can see, it was like around 400. Now it has decreased a bit. Over 400, it was above 400,000. Now it has decreased a bit. The profit has decreased a bit. So this is how the assumptions for salaries is going to work. Then we have the dashboard. So whatever you have basically calculated in here and everything, it's going to come under this area. So after you have put in all the numbers and everything, so after you have put in all the numbers and everything, it's going to be summarized uh, basically in here. For example, during the first year, 2025, you are investing on safety equipment, HVAC systems, manufacturing facility to 21%. So all of this is going to show your sales of perfumes. There are 3 categories: sales of perfumes, wholesale to retailers, custom fragrance creation. If you think that these these particular products should be modified, then you can do that. So you are getting around 1 million from this particular category, around 116,000 from wholesale or this category, and around 100K from this category. Then we also have the break-even analysis. Then the operating expenses, cost of services, promotional budget allocation. Then this is basically the burn rate analysis. In burn rate analysis, what we do is you are investing around 1.5 million at the initial stages. So what happens is during the first couple of months, your sales will decrease. then it's your cash flow, sorry, your cash flow, your cash balance in hand is going to decrease. Then over time it should increase. If your business does well in future, then it should increase. Please note that these numbers are basically assumptions, and you have to refine these numbers based on your particular situation. Your situation will be different from the assumptions that we have considered in here, so please keep this in mind. Okay, now let's work on the business plan in here. So we are creating the business plan for Bloom and Ember. Bloom and Ember. As you can see, the financial model took us like couple of minutes to basically finish. Even if you consider the assumptions, the assumptions of numbers, it should not take more than 1 day to complete the financial model, and another day to complete the business plan. Even if you are pretty slow with it, the business plan is designed in such a way that it's going to basically ease a lot of your tasks, and it's going to reduce a lot of research requirements, and it's going to save a lot of time at the end of the day. So basically, we have the cover page in here, then the contents in here. I'm going to go through each and everything one by one. So firstly, we have the cover page in here. So let's say I want to change this cover page. How should I do this? So let me show you. I'm opening this in a different browser because you are going to be using free Canva account. So this is done through Canva. So let's go to Canva. I'm going to show you with a free Canva account. So this is a free Canva account. So if I click on this, I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to basically click on a free account. You can also sign in with Gmail. I'm basically signing in with Gmail in here. So after that, what you have to do is quite simple. We already have the images in here. Just choose one of the more than 100 cover pages. So let's say so let's say that I like this one. So in here, I'm gonna put the brand name, which is Bloom and Ember. If you have your logo in here, you can also upload the logo in here and put it somewhere. You also have the option for that. So after that, I'm just gonna download this image. After I download this image, the rest of the stuff is very simple. Just click on this, then click on replace image, then upload from computer, and just put the image in here, and it's going to be done. So this is how we change the cover page. You can change this to any cover page you want from these options. So I'm just going to remove this part. It's not needed anymore. It's to help you out. Then we have table of contents. So after that, we have executive summary and all of this stuff. Now we have Bloom and Ember. It's a manufacturing, it's a perfume manufacturing business. But in here, the stuff is different. It's Aroma Joy. So how do we change this? This is a template. Please keep in mind. So we have to click on this. Firstly, we have to highlight this part. Let's say this is the part we want to change. Then click on this one. Then just type in my business, replace aroma journey with Bloom and Ember. Also change this to perfume manufacturing business. The founder is Elliot Green, let's say, and the business was founded 2021, let's say. Info as it is. Now, after I do this, just click on this, and it's gonna give me the new content. This is the new content that I get. Elliot Green, we have leader in manufacturing industry, luxury based in Miami, if you want to put the location, you can also do that. I didn't give the location, that's why it's not giving me the location in here. And if you want to just if you think that this is okay, then just click on replace. And if you think that we should refine this, then just type in the new command. I think this is okay, that's why I'm going to type in replace. I'm going to put in click on replace. As you can see, this is changed. Now we already have a mission and vision statement in here. If you want to change the mission vision statement, you can also do that. You can just write in, give me a better mission statement for my perfume manufacturing business. Then just click on this. It has given me this, so I'm just gonna replace this, just change the format. Done. If you think that it should be done for vision as well, you can do this. This particular industry overview has been done through research, so that you don't have to go through Google sources, and you don't have to waste time researching on this market. So you have already placed this. Now here comes the real work. Now we have to start the real work. Firstly, as you can see, check out how to edit the graphs and charts. I'm not going through that. I'm just going to give you a proper demo on how to do this. So I'm just going to remove this part because I'm writing this plan right now. So firstly, what you have to do is you have to visit the you have to visit the financial model that we have. So I'm just opening that up right now. So this is the financial model that we just worked on. Now what we have to do is, there was a mistake in here. This should be 2028. Yeah, now it's okay. So basically, what we have to do is we have to go to business plan, graphs and charts, this particular section, and in a chronological manner, it's already, the graphs and charts are already arranged in here. You basically don't have to do anything. You have to copy paste right now. Everything is done for you. But let's say you want to customize this. How do you do that? That process is also very simple. So let's say you want to change the color of this. So you click here, click on so let's say you want to change the line color in here. So you can change the line color in here. If you want to change the inside color in here, for example, I don't want to change the line color in here, so I'm just going to keep it white. Let's say I want to change the fill color in here, so you can just make it red. I don't think red is good. I think this is fine. So you can customize this in any way you want. You also have resources on how to change or customize graphs on Google Sheets, on YouTube, ton of resources. So I don't think we have to expand on this. So just copy and paste the graphs that are here. For example, just replace this, delete this one, and paste it like this, and remove this part. Then we have this one. Just copy paste, nothing else. Copy. Then what happens is it gets connected with this particular sheets graph. Otherwise, these graphs are basically connected to the original file. So it's going to have a problem for you if you don't copy it from here. So once you make the copy, whatever changes you make in the financial model, it is going to be automatically reflected in the doc file. So that is how it basically works. Then we have this one. So I'm going to delete this table. Then I'm going to take this table from here. Another important thing is we also have the valuation, business valuation in here. As you can see in here, this is the valuation. According to valuation, this is done through DCF, discounted cash flow method. Our valuation is 76 million. This can change depending on your profitability. For example, if I just make this non-profitable, for example, in order to make it non-profitable, just go to revenue assumptions. This is just one of the ways to make it non-profitable. Just make the CAC very high for one of the channels. For example, let's make this 5,000. So if I make this 5,000, and let's get back to the valuation. So graphs and charts, as you can see, it has dropped to half. And if you go to the income statement, you will see that the profitability has also taken a hit. Okay. I think there's a glitch. Let's reload this. Okay, it has loaded again. So if I go to income statement, as you can see, it's the profit has also taken a hit. Earlier, if I just consider this is 239. So previously, if I look at the income statement, just look at the income statement, it was 384. So from 384, it went to 239. So this is one of the ways to basically play with the numbers and find out what happens if my customer acquisition cost is this much versus this much. So it lets you do scenario analysis, which is very good. So let's get back to the main task that we were in, copy pasting of this particular sections, this particular graphs and charts. So in here, remove this part and copy and paste. Then we have working capital. So I'm going to remove this one, then working capital, copy and paste. Then we have we have more graphs and charts. I'm coming to that. So let's copy the graphs and charts first. Then we're going to work on the content issues. So here is the organogram. I'm coming to this as well. So this is modified through Canva. Anyways, so here it is, marketing plan. So let's go down. Where is marketing plan? So where is marketing plan? This is like 200, row 215. It's already mentioned in here where you can find it, row 215. This is the marketing plan. Yes, marketing plan budget. So I'm just going to remove this part and place it in here. Then promotional channels. I'm just going to remove the existing one and copy paste this part. And remove the existing guides because I don't need them. Now let's start working on this one. So these things you can find in the financial statements tab in here. So I'm gonna firstly remove this existing one and paste the first one in here. Okay, so remove this part. Then we have this one, cash flow statement, remove this part and place it in here. Okay, then what we have is the balance sheet. So I'm going to remove this existing balance sheet in from here and place the current balance sheet. Then we have the capital structure. So I'm just going to copy this part. Remove this part. Capital structure. Remove this and paste. Okay, then we have primary investments. So copy this part. Primary investments. Remove this and make this H2. This is what, H2 or H3? Yeah, H2. So H2, then Okay, then we have secondary investments. Okay, then we have valuation. We have already done valuation once, so we have already inserted valuation once, so I'm not going to insert it again. Then we have to remove this. So after that, then we have the cost of goods sold summary. So I'm going to remove this part, and cost of goods sold summary is going to be pasted here. Then we have operating expenses. Remove this one and paste it with this one. Then we have loan amortization schedule. Delete this one. Then you have to copy this part. As we have made loan 0, so I don't think we need to copy this. We can just avoid this one for this particular business. As we are showing that we are not taking any loan for this. Then we have the non-current asset schedule. So I'm going to paste it in here, make it H2. It's already H2, so no worries. So just copy paste. Okay, done. Non-current asset schedule. Now remove the existing one, obviously. Then lastly, we have basically salaries. This is H2. Then we have salaries in here. Done. So basically we are done with this. Now let me show you something. So let's go to the income statement in here. So this is the income statement. As you can see, the revenue based on the current assumptions is around 1.2 million. Now let's get back to the income statement. This also shows it's 1.2 million, obviously, but let's say I want to make some changes in here, and let's change this to something else. So let's say instead of 75, this is like 125. Now let's look at the revenue. So now the revenue is 1.8. Now look at this. This is asking me to update. So once I do the update, it's going to change to 1.8. So whatever changes you do in here, it's going to be reflected in here as well. Another important thing is if you wish to like update all of them at once, then also you can do this by linked objects, clicking on linked objects and just clicking on update all. So that way you don't have to update individually for each of the charts and graphs. So the business plan is basically done right now. What you can do right now is basically go through each and every section and make changes based on your particular case. For example, let's remove this stuff. For example, uh, let's go to organizational overview. This is probably not gonna be your photo, so change the photo in here, change the name in here. It's Jacob Harris, and it's done for some other business, So what you can do is just highlight this. I have already shown you this, and for example, let's say your name is Elliot Green, as we just assumed earlier. Change the name to Elliot Green, and the business name is Bloom and Ember. Keep the rest of the stuff as it is, or you can make changes. That depends on you. Keep the rest of the staff as it is. Now just click on enter. Then what's going to happen is it's going to give, so yeah, it's going to give you a different particular bio. Then just click on replace and it's going to be done. And after that, if you have to make changes to the format and everything, like in here, I think, yeah, it's okay. It's okay, yeah. So Elliott Green are competitive, yeah. Bloom and Ember. So if you whatever changes you want to do, just do it. Now let's get into organogram. So in organogram, you have the option to basically choose from number of designs. So in here, let me show you. Just like the cover page that I changed, you can make changes in here. There are a couple of designs in here. Just make the changes and paste that image in here with replace image. Same goes for some of the other graphs and charts. For example, this one, you can make changes similarly. So this is how these things are done. This particular business plan is complete. Now I'm just going to give it a quick glance and just check for any errors. Let's remove this part. Let's remove this part. Let's remove this part. Okay. Bloom and so Aroma Journey. The business name is Aroma Journey in according to the template. So just put it in here. Just replace with Bloom and Ember. So wherever we have Aroma Journey, it's going to be replaced. Replace all. So as you can see, it's replaced, and the name of the founder is Elliott Green. So wherever we have Elena Rodriguez, it's going to change. So basically, just click on this, then click on this, Elliott Green. Replace all. Done. If you want to change the name of your management team, add anything or remove anything, then just do so accordingly. If you want to change the business model as well, you can do so. This is just to give you an idea on how the business model works, how to create a business model with an example. Then we have operational strategy with the raw materials for perfume, the suppliers for perfume business, so on and so forth. Okay, after it's done, you can export this in PDF. Or print this. This totally depends on you. So as you can see, it's done. Another important thing I forgot to mention is that after you are done, you should update the table of contents like this. Just click on update and it's going to be updated automatically. You don't have to do anything. After the updating process, just make sure that it is aligned properly and the formatting is done properly. Now let's import this again, export this again, or download this as PDF again. So after that, the plan is basically done. It is already done in here. So as you can see, it's super easy to write a business plan. If you had to write all of this from scratch, you or create this financial model. This is an incredibly detailed financial model. This has around this has 23 tabs in here. So if you had to create this from scratch, you'd have to face a lot of trouble. It would take a lot of time. Even if you are financially proficient, it would take you at least 1 to 2 weeks. And if you are a newbie, then it would take you at least a couple of months just to learn the process of creating a financial model and doing this properly. So you are getting all of this ready-made from this template. So I wish you all the best. And if you have any queries, you can contact me. I have provided my contact details in the description. If you think that you don't want to go through all of this trouble and you want to just hire someone to write this, then you can also do that with us. So let me know.